remember Tampa, the way she used to be, the places we would run to, the faces we would see. Yes, I remember Tampa, with precious memories, a city rising on the move, a simple yet progressive groove. Yes, I remember Tampa, she remembers me.
Welcome to the Tampa Natives Show. Stay tuned now for the fastest 60 minutes in cable broadcast history. Live from the studios at TBCN, the home of the Tampa Natives Show. Join your hosts, Mario Nunez, the 15-Minute Girl, and Steve Canella, as they celebrate growing up in Tampa. From Shock Armstrong to Shakey's Pizza, from Braddock Street to Buffalo Avenue. Get ready to call in and tell us your stories, because sharing your memories has never been this much fun. And now, Mario Nunez, the 15-Minute Girl, and Steve Canella.
Hi, Tampa Native Show fans, and welcome back to this, your Thursday night edition of the Tampa Native Show. Boy, have we got a special show in store for you tonight. I'm Mario Nunez, as always, seated alongside my broadcast partner,
Steve Canella.
15-Minute Girl Sally Nunez is standing by to take your calls in just a few minutes when we open up the phone lines. But before we do that, we got to do a little housekeeping, I guess, little shop, little housekeeping. Some of the things we did last week and what's coming up in the next few weeks. Mm-hmm. But stay right where you are, because I think tonight's show, we just may blow it out. Stevie, what do you think?
We may top our record. I'm not sure.
Who's sitting over there to your left?
Well, not Robert Gonzalez, but the Robert Gonzalez.
That's right.
Who's on your right?
Over here, you can't see him, but we're going to bring him in just a couple of minutes. The Ybor City icon himself, Arizona Jenkins.
So we have a West Tampan and an Ybor Cityan.
We may just have one of those West Tampa Ybor City offs, man. We don't know what that means, really and truthfully. We just made that term up, but it may just happen tonight and unfold here on live TV.
That'd be great.
Thursday nights. Of course, if you're watching us from anywhere in the world, which you could be, potentially, because we stream this show live.
Definitely.
www.tampanatives.show.com. Right there in the middle of the page, Stevie, what do they do?
Well, click the button that says, click here.
There it is.
It's
Steve set that up.
Very, very big.
Large green, it says, click here to watch us online. And the neat part about it is you can watch us from anywhere. Mm-hmm. We have it on good account that Robert and Carrie's daughter is in Italy somewhere. We're going to find out where. She may be watching us right now.
That'd be great.
And we hope so that she is. All right, Stevie. What did we do? Let's take it back real quick last weekend. What did we do last Sunday?
Well, last Sunday, well, that was great. We were at the Club Unico.
Yes.
The haibada, which is the crab enchilada,
or
crab enchilada, however some people say it differently.
I know, right? Some people just say crab shalom.
Wow,
I don't even know what that means.
I mean, what a deal. I mean, what a plate. I mean, it's like 5 pounds of
$15 worth of pasta and crab sauce.
It's amazing.
It's like the old. It has the feel of the old West Tampa Ybor City spaghetti dinners. You know, the ones that they used to use to fundraise for the Little League or for the church on Sundays. I'm telling you, everybody who knew everybody, who was everybody, was there last week. And what was really nice is we had an opportunity to roll out, Stevie, we rolled out a brand new shirt. We got a photo?
We do have a photo.
Can we call for that photo?
Yes, Becky, let's do that now. That's the Tampeños photo.
We've got one right here on set. Becky, there it is. How about that photograph there, man? There's Steve on the left. That's Phil Nunez, 86 years young, strong like bull. My dad in the middle there, myself on the right. Hey, I don't know who's poking through there.
I was going to say, who's that in the background?
I think that's Weird Al Yankovic.
That's
our dear friend Ray Villadonga. You know him.
A sneak peek right
there.
Yep,
you know him. He's the disc jockey. Step Outside Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock. Actually, I think it's from 8 to 10 now. He's got a new time slot. WMNF. He's been doing that for 30 years. And we told Ray, jump in there, man. Come back into the studio.
I didn't know that was him behind me, though. I didn't know.
These shirts here are flying off the shelf. I only pressed. What did we press? We pressed 48 of them, because we were really quite sure, and we didn't want to overextend. Well. Early word on the streets is that we should have probably pressed more. If you'd like to get one of those shirts, and I think you should, reach out to us. goodtimes@tampanativeshow.com, or reach out to us on Facebook. Call us directly if you know us. Call Steve, call me. We'll make sure that you get a shirt. They are going fast. All proceeds collected from the sale of the shirts go to help us here fund and keep the Tampa Native Show on the air.
Operators are standing by.
We appreciate all of your patronage. We appreciate your support. All right. After the game tonight, I don't know why we're going to mention this, but we will, because it's very prescient, it's timely, it's right now. the Bucs are going to draft first at about 8:10 this evening, the NFL draft. Stevie, what do you think?
Well,
Mariota?
I'm not sure.
Winston. Mariota, Winston.
I say Winston.
You're going to go with Winston?
Yeah. For no reason other than just a feeling.
Okay.
Kind of like I did with the Rays,
Well, yeah, and since Stevie's going to go with Winston, I'll go with Mariota.
Okay.
But it's probably going to be Winston because I'm thinking that Florida State influence here in the Tampa area. They're going to try to put fannies. Weren't they with the Rowdies? Fannies and Rowdies?
That's right.
Fannies they're going to try to get fannies in the seats is what we're trying to say. So I don't know if it's going to work. I just think that maybe Mariota might be a little more stable long-term pick. Okay, congratulations to the Lightning, who advanced last night.
Wow.
What an exciting, tremendous Game 7
That's
against
amazing.
those feisty Detroit Red Wings. That was a good series. Did you get to watch any of it?
Not really. But I've been following it online though, so we should be proud.
I got to be honest with you. Look, everybody who knows me, knows Stevie, knows that we were raised on the baseball diamond. Okay, baseball was our first love. Along the way, I had a little dalliance with bowling, which I still enjoy, and I also fell in love real hard in my teenage years with highlight.
Me too.
Stevie did too. But I got to say something, and I'm going to go on record as saying it right now. Hockey is pretty damn exciting, and when you get into the Stanley Cup playoffs time, it's terribly exciting. It's nonstop action. I wish they'd show us more of the shift changes, when the players go off the ice and come on the ice from the benches, because they always follow the puck. They shoot the puck into the corner. You don't see that. But when you're there, you see all the changes.
The action.
I don't understand it. It's kind of complex, like cricket, like watching cricket. Cricket's kind of fun, but I don't know what they're doing really half the time. But it's good.
It's a fast-moving sport, too.
It's
fast-moving,
fast-moving, fast-paced,
right.
sort of like this TV, sort of like the way I talk. How about that? Sometimes
example,
we hear Becky laughing through the glass.
Just like just now.
I got to be honest with you. Sometimes we hear Becky laughing through the glass, and it throws us off.
It does.
Because when you can tickle your producer who's in the studio each and every week with you, and she's heard all of your funny stuff, that's pretty good stuff. Yeah, cricket and hockey, of course.
Yeah,
One's
very
played
similar.
on ice, and the other one isn't. So there you go. And they're both played by foreigners. All right. Let's talk a little bit about next week's show, and we'll tease it real quick. Ricky Martinez, Elise Pask. That's all we're going to say for now. Ricky Martinez, Elise Pask.
That's all?
Leave it there. Yeah, leave it there. Big tease.
Okay.
We'll post that on our Facebook page after a little bit. Also, 2 weeks from now, Tony More is going to come back in and tell us a little bit more about La Segunda Central story.
That's great.
100 years in business. We had Copeland More last week. And then City Councilwoman Yoli Capin is scheduled to be with us on the 21st of May. And rumor has it on the 28th, the legendary bodybuilder and friend to all of us gym rats who grew up in South Tampa and some parts of West Tampa as well, Harry Smith, who's 90 years young, may very well be with us May 28th. So stand by for all of that. Okay, it's 8 minutes into the show. We can't wait any longer.
No.
We got to get going. We got things to talk about. We got people to introduce you to. Becky, bring up the 4-shot. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our privilege, it is our honor to introduce to you, seated on Stevie's left, right there, Robert, wave at the camera. That is Robert Gonzalez, ladies and gentlemen. Where's your laugh track or your applause track?
I don't have that. I don't have it today.
We'll just give him the applause.
That's right.
That's Robert
Welcome,
Gonzalez,
Robert.
West Tampa legend. You hear him each and every week. He calls the show. He's our #1 fan. And I don't know if that entitles him to anything, a privileged parking spot or anything, special service at West Tampa Sandwich Shop. Robert, thanks for being here, man.
He's become a little bit of a celebrity in his own right? Because of the fact that he calls into the show so much. Rumor has it he was at a bank recently, and we may have him tell the story.
Yo, Robert, hang on to that. Let me introduce Arizona. Then we'll come back to you because I want to hear that story. Fascinating. And over here to my right, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the irrepressible. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. He's everywhere. And tonight he's got a brand new wheelchair. We're going to talk about that. Arizona Jenkins.
Welcome, Arizona.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for
Glad to
being
have
here,
you
brother.
on.
We've been talking about this for how long now?
Couple of years.
A couple of years.
Wow.
Every time I go into King Corona, he's at his table. He's at his place at his table. He's asking me, when are you going to have me on the show? Well, tonight is that night.
Thank you.
And we're going to get some phone calls. So don't think that you're going to escape. We're going to get some phone calls in just a little while. We'll give you that number.
It'll be all the girls.
It'll be all the girls, right? All the girls that you're
got
all the
some of those
girls you're
photos.
always pictured with on Facebook.
Now, does Arizona have his own seat with his own name on it, nameplate?
He
my
doesn't,
own
but
table.
do you?
Have my own table.
You got your own table, right?
Right there in the front of the cigar counter.
Right in front of the cigar counter.
Wow.
Which is the same table that Don usually sits at too, right? That's the owner's table. That's the
The
owner's box.
big boss man.
Big Boss Man sits at that table.
We
That's
have,
right.
we have two celebrities in here tonight.
Absolutely, we do.
There
And
we go.
we're privileged to have you both with us. Robert, look into that camera right over there. Tell everybody that story about how they may know you and how they came to know you in the city.
It's happened 3 times. The first time I was a bank I used to deal with, when she saw I went in there to cash, I need some money, so I went in there to cash a check, and she saw my name, and she goes, "Are you the Robert Gonzalez who calls on Tampa Natives Show?" I go, "Yes."
You gotta love that. That's a bell ring. That's a bell ring. Anywhere else?
And then after that, well, I can't remember the second time, but the last time was last Wednesday when we were at La Segunda Central.
Okay.
I was wearing a Tampa Natives shirt, and a woman there, she says, "Oh, I love the Tampa Natives Show," and I go, I say, then if you watch all the time, then you heard me.
I'm part of the show.
I'm Robert Gonzalez. I'm an unpaid person on the show.
Right.
Unpaid talent.
And listen, and the truth of the matter is, as Robert so eloquently expressed, he's an unpaid person on the show.
That's right.
As we all are. Because last time I said, I'd like to get paid myself, but the truth of the matter, that's great
And
stuff.
you can't call him tonight.
Part of the cast.
Yeah, and we
I
can't,
can't call
and
in
we won't
tonight.
hear Robert calling in tonight because we've got him in studio with us, which is the best. Arizona, any celebrity sightings for you, man? Any Ybor City? I know you're up and down all the time, the streets, man. They know you already. Anybody ever stopped you and said, "Hey, when you gonna be on that Tampa Natives Show?"
Well, when I was invited to come here,
Uh-huh.
I put it on my Facebook and called around. And was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna see you on TV." I'm like, "Yes." The good-looking man finally get on the Tampa.
There it is, the good-looking
That's
man
great. That's
is
a
finally
bell.
getting on the team. Now listen, you have a big circle of friends, and primarily because of the work
does.
that you do with the organization that you're with. Why don't you take a minute and share with everybody what it is that you do, that your nonprofit, your organization that you head up there, because I really like them to know more about that.
Okay. Well, it's called New Horizons Support Group for people with disabilities, and what we do is we teach people who have disabilities to become more independent, to live their own life, to do everything that you would do, but in a different way. So we teach you that even though you have a disability, you can still live a normal life, like I do. I hang out all the time at night. I smoke cigars, I drink, I want to chase girls, talk to girls, get hugs and kisses like any man would do.
I tell you, let's do this. Yeah, we're gonna show this video in just a second. Bring me up in the two shot. I just want to say, if you think for a minute that the term disabled has anything to do with these two gentlemen that are here with us now, that would be an overreach.
Right.
Arizona Jenkins I know a lot of able people that aren't as active as Arizona Jenkins. Case in point, we just got through bowling in that bowling league over there at Regal Lanes. The first week out of the box, before I had really an opportunity to engage our Facebook group and let them know that we were going to be doing this bowling thing every Monday night at 7 o'clock. We're warming up, we're throwing a practice game, boom, the doors swing open, and in flies, and I mean flies, man, right around the corner in his wheelchair, Arizona Jenkins. And I looked at him and I said, "Z, what are you doing here?" He says, "I'm here to watch you guys. What do you think?" And he was there each and every week for 12 weeks. You would have thought he was bowling with us.
What a trooper.
And he was there early half the time. He calls up, T-Bart comes and picks him up. They take him where he needs to go. They come back and pick him up. Always connected with his cell phone. The man is omnipresent. And Robert, he's got a partner in crime too, his wife Carrie. So where there's a will, there's a way. What Robert is saying is what Arizona is saying, and what Robert exemplifies, absolutely true. You want to get out there and you want to do it, get out there and do it. And Arizona's organization is designed for people to understand that. Am I right, Arizona?
That's right. Well, what you can do is, you want to get involved, you can email me, you can call me. I'm always on call, no matter what the issue may be. I will find an answer for you. If I can't find it, I know who will.
That's
There you
great.
go.
That's
There you
great.
go.
And they can find you on Facebook.
There's a bell ring.
Awesome.
And he's a presence on Facebook, and we
Impressive
will
page.
also link Arizona's organization and Arizona's Facebook page on our website as well. So you'll have any way you can think of possibly getting in touch with Arizona. And of course, man, if you ever want to just meet him, show up at King Corona. Show up at King Corona Cafe, Cigars and Cafe right there on 7th Avenue, just east of 15th Street. And Arizona's liable to be at his special table. We got a little video we want to show you. How long is the video, Stevie?
It's about 2 minutes.
2 minutes
Yeah.
long. It's a nice little compilation of photographs to share with you, give you a little taste of what Arizona's life has been like, and it continues to be life. We'll come back and talk about that on the other side. Enjoy this.
You'll enjoy it.
How about that, huh? Thank you,
That's great.
Arizona Jenkins, who you for sharing your story with us and for continuing to inspire us, all of us, to do better and to get out there and enjoy life. Brother, you don't miss many, do you?
Nope. I don't miss anything.
Don't miss anything.
All you know is when and where.
That's
I don't do that yet.
That's
it.
awesome.
Arizona, how old are you now?
39.
39.
I'll be 40 in November.
And we're going to have a party for that, right?
All right.
But they say 40 is the new 30, man. You're all right.
Yeah.
You're doing all right.
I'm dead kicking.
Yeah, oh, man. Listen, you kick, like I said, you're kicking more than a lot of people who think they can't do as much as you do. Now, Robert, back to you real quick for a second. We're going to show a couple of photographs, and I want you to share with our audience. We're going to put you in a picture-in-picture kind of situation here. Split that so we can talk about the photos, because your story is compelling. Your story is interesting, it's compelling, and it goes back a little ways, like most of our unique stories growing up here in Tampa.
Well, you know, I'm a second-generation native of Tampa. I used to think for the longest time that my great-grandparents came from Cuba to Key West and then to Ybor City. I thought that they came back when Ybor City was first settled, because my grandmother was born in 1884, and she told me she came over when she was 2 years old. That was 1886.
86, right?
Ybor City was settled in 1886, but no. What they did, they came from Cuba to Key West, and they stayed in Key West for a little while. My great-grandfather, a strange name in those days, his name was Candelario Carrasco.
I like that name.
Yeah,
Candelario.
It's got a nice flow to it.
What?
Candelario
English,
Tres Patines. I think that's, you know what I mean? That's right there.
Yeah, Candelario, that's the English for candelabra, right?
Yeah, something very special.
Yeah. And my family was always been involved in the cigar industry, but I talked to some of my older uncles who knew him. They said he wasn't the most pleasant, loving grandfather in the world. The only funny thing he used to do was he would point to his grandsons and say, "Halamed Del."
Oh, pull my finger. The pull my finger joke. So you see, for those of you that thought that pull my finger joke was just something that they did in the 7th grade, right, in your 7th grade class, apparently Candelario started that way back in the late 1800s.
Now we know where it came from.
Let's go through some of the pictures, Becky, because these pictures are very interesting. You know, some of us are fortunate to have pictures like this, Robert, available. You know, not all of us did, man. Cameras were not something that were available to a lot of families. So show the first picture back, and Robert, tell us who that is, Robert.
That is my true great-grandmother, Maria Sofia. She passed away right after my grandmother was born. And then Candelario married the other woman.
So the next picture, is the next picture of Candelario? We need
the next
to show,
picture is Candelario.
Let's show Candelario, because if, you know, everybody, I think at home wants to know what a handlebar mustachioed Candelario looks like.
You know, one thing I have to say, my mother, there's a Spanish word for what he did.
Yes.
He,
Can you say it on this TV?
yeah, he,
On the show?
he followed he worked with the cigar work. He was not a cigar roller.
Yes.
He was not a cigar worker.
Okay.
But he did something that he would, when the cigar workers needed some money,
Right?
he would loan them
Oh.
money for an outrageous interest fee.
I don't know what
Loan
they
sharking.
call that, Arizona, but I think back in the early 20s, they used to call that like shylarking, right? Yeah, right?
You
Not
know,
loan sharking.
he-
Maybe, I don't know.
You know,
Just
It
asking.
be long youngins. That one, it don't mean the same.
It all means the
Right,
same.
that's
So
right.
Yeah.
now we get into the picture on what Candelario was. That's why they gave him the name, because he was Candela. I get it.
You know, and you know,
27% interest, brother. 27% interest. You know what I'm
It need
saying?
money.
And
He was Amscott before we knew what Amscott was.
There you go.
I got it. Let me ring the bell on my cell phone. That was pretty good.
and then he stayed in Key West, and then my grandmother.
Which is the next picture, correct?
No.
That's your great-grandmother.
That's my
great step-grandmother.
That's my
Step-great-grandmother.
When Maria Sofia, my true great-grandmother, passed away,
Yes.
he married Angela.
Which is the next
That's the
photo
next
back.
picture. Picture 3.
There you go.
Yeah.
So he married Angela,
He married Angela.
because a
and,
guy named Candelario is not going to be alone for very long.
And then my grandmother was the youngest.
Okay.
of his, you know, and he was basically a loan shark.
There you go.
So he had some
In Key
money.
West, in Key West. No,
he
here.
had some money, but my grandmother's brothers and sisters, they all moved up north, like
Okay.
to New York, Philadelphia, and stuff. And they somehow got most of my grandfather's money, left my grandmother with nothing.
Oh, no.
And so then my grandmother met Raimundo Cruz, the next picture.
Next picture. I like this. This is okay. I think everybody has a relative that kind of has a photograph similar to
Yeah.
that. That's like the guy in the wall or the guy in the picture frame. I'm just saying.
Kanye
Back,
Bible
you know, it was a style, right? With the shirt and the corbata and the bigote. Okay, all right.
And he was, most of my family came all my family came from the city of Havana, but he was a Matancero. He was
Okay.
from Matanzas.
Matanzas.
And he lived in Key West, and he met my grandmother back when my grandma was just 13 years old.
Yeah, it happened
That's
back
when
then.
she got
Yep,
married.
happened back then.
And he had 2 older sons from his previous wife. He was a widower, and his 2 sons were close to my grandma's age. My grandmother would be married to Raimundo, and she would play with her.
Yeah, that
Like a
happened.
little
That
kid.
happened because of the age differences. If you had a big disparity in the age difference, you might have had a tío abuelo that was 15 years older. So, you know,
Yeah.
it got kind of, the tíos that were your
Yeah, that's
age, and
it.
it was kind of strange. I'm going to switch. I'm going to come over here now. I'm going to talk to Arizona for a minute. Arizona, you see how Robert's telling us his story.
Yeah.
I know you have one too. Does it follow the pictures that we have here, or can you just tell us a little bit more about it? Because these photos here look like they're more or less current times. Am I right, Stevie?
They are. This
good.
one's from Cuba, the first one.
But I do want to know. I still want to know about. Set this up for us. How did you all come to be in Ybor City? Where did you all come from, and how did you get to Tampa?
Okay. I was born at St. Joseph Hospital.
Me too.
Okay? And the doctor told my mom that if he lives, he's gonna be a vegetable. He won't live to see 1 year old.
Oh boy.
So what you should do is go ahead and abort. But he said no, because he's my baby, and I'm gonna give him the chance that he deserves.
There you go.
So I was born and raised in Ybor City, 39 years old now. So they tell you that the doctor don't know crap about how you're gonna be when you get older.
Right, right.
My mama always taught me to stand up for my rights and never give up and never let no one tell you what you can and can't do.
That's awesome.
Oh, you've defied the doctor many times over, 39 times so far.
So, and then my mom was the only parent that I know of, because my dad died before I was born.
Okay, okay,
So she was a mother and a father. She was a nurse,
okay.
worked 16 hours a day, probably doing nothing. She comes to work, I go to work with her.
Okay.
She put me on her back, because back in the day, you didn't know what a wheelchair was.
Oh, wow, okay.
So she carried me on her back. And I go to work with her, and I talk to the clients while she doing work. And then as I got older, I have three brothers and one sister.
Okay.
And they never treat me like I was a baby or disabled.
Or disabled, yeah. Just like the brothers.
Yeah, wherever I go with them.
Correct.
And they play ball, they do evil stuff, or get caught, what kids do.
Sure, sure.
Then as I get older, went to the high school, graduated with honors.
Attaboy. What school?
Chamberlain High School.
Chamberlain? Chiefs?
there you
Attaboy.
go.
Chamberlain Chiefs.
Then I went to ACC,
Okay.
got a computer degree in engineering.
They're very good.
And when I went to college, the teacher thought I couldn't do it because of my hand. I'm like, no, you're not going to tell me what I can't do. Okay. So I did it, got that degree. Then I was like, well, I need a lot of nonprofit organizations to help people like me to become normal.
Sure, sure.
Someone had the group for me, but he couldn't do it anymore. So I took it over and I revised it my way. The
Arizona way. You pimped it. You pimped the ride. You pimped the group.
There you go. So we help people, do that, become independent.
That's wonderful. And we were there with you most recently when you had that ceremony where you were kind of praising your friends and your family for sticking with
Did
you.
you get an award?
Yeah, no. I was there. I was there to receive Joe Howland's award. I think that the 15-minute girl was there to receive somebody else's award. Who wasn't there? Bob Carter. That's right. Bob Carter. That's right. All of our friends. That's your extended family. The guys that you hang out with at King
That's
Corona.
what you call them in the medical term. You call them your natural support system.
Okay.
Because you got the paid support, then you got the natural support.
Very good.
So sometimes you need to use your natural support to get the word out. If you go to a meeting and they come with you,
Sure.
like now I have a friend here now
Yes, you do.
called Basil.
Yeah, Basil's right there. He's just off camera. He's here with you.
He
Absolutely.
came to see how I go do.
Sure. And you're doing pretty good. I think
He said, "Now you don't forget,
Right.
pronounce your words.
Right.
Slow down when you're talking."
Right.
You know what I told him? I got it.
I got this. I got this. And you do,
you
Arizona.
do.
And
You
you
do.
do. Listen,
Wow.
and we still have to sit down and play dominoes, man, because I know that I'm going to learn a thing or two from you. I know
But
you
when
sit
you
there.
lose-
I know Richard. I know you and Richard usually play on Wednesdays. And I'm going to make it a point to get over there one of these Wednesdays so you can go ahead and teach me a lesson or two.
Now when you lose, don't get all.
Don't get all mad.
No, like I do in bowling. Like I do in bowling. I won't, man. I
very funny.
promise. Because see, I'm out of my game there. I know that, until I get better. Robert, can you play dominoes?
It's been
Not
a
so good?
long time.
Yeah, right?
I don't even remember how to play.
It's traditional though,
rules,
man.
I
You
don't
know,
remember the
that's
It's
what we
the
should.
Cuban link.
Yeah, it's a Cuban thing. We got it. Double 6 or double 9?
And you know what?
Either one?
No nine better.
Double 9's better, right?
When you got to know how to count.
A little more strategy, right? Yeah. You got to be able to keep the numbers
Right.
straight in your
There
head.
you go.
You know, I'm thinking, we still have pictures to go through. We haven't given out the phone numbers yet. You want to try to give a phone number out? Because there may be a couple of people out there that would like to say hello.
Want to call my person number?
Yeah, you want to go ahead and say the number for us, Arizona, right up there. Look on the wall. See on the wall right there?
Yeah. 813 977
Okay.
6800.
Hey, it doesn't get any clearer than that, but just in case you didn't understand that, which everybody has to be able to have understood that, Robert, help him out. Give him that number one more time.
813-977-6800.
Now, if this was any other week on the Tampa Natives Show, Robert would be picking up his phone at
Calling
home,
right now.
and he would be calling.
I will probably already be on hold.
The phone would already be blinking red, and it would be pre-qualified, and it would be Robert Gonzalez waiting to talk to us. But we've got you in studio tonight. Can we go over a couple more pictures while we're waiting for our first caller?
Yeah, my grandmother, when she got married to Raimundo, they didn't have a TV in those days. They had a lot of kids.
Okay.
And then later on,
And there was a joke there somewhere.
Didn't
Do you
have
understand
time-
that? There was a joke.
time for
I got to
TV,
ring
for
the
one
bell
thing.
because in case you didn't realize that, the reason they had a lot of kids was because they had no TV here. Just letting you know that.
and
And
they,
apparently no radio either.
they moved up to Ybor City. And, in the early back in the day when Ybor City was rocking, and my mother was born on Ybor Street.
Which was Ybor Street? Forgive me. It wasn't La Septima. That wasn't 7th Avenue.
No.
It was another street?
It was a street.
Okay. Anybody out there who knows what street was Ybor Street, give us a call. We'd like to know that. Robert would like to know that as well.
She was born in a shotgun house on Ybor Street.
And why did they call it a
Casita.
shotgun house?
Because you could stand in the front door and shoot your shotgun and go straight to the back door.
There you go.
Not
How about
anything
that,
else.
Rob? That's correct, right?
10102.
And apparently Arizona guy was born in one as well. That's pretty cool, Arizona. I wasn't. Boy,
That's
nice, man.
we got some true natives here.
Yeah. Well, St. Joe's is the old St. Joe or the new St. Joe?
The old
St. Joe, and then they brought you home to a shotgun home.
Yeah, when it be cold in the winter, at 100.
And you straight up Ybor City gangster. You straight up Ybor City. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, none of that peripheral live on the outskirts.
No, wishy-washy stuff.
Wow, man. We're getting called out by Arizona. Go ahead, pick it up from there, Robert.
Then on picture number 7 is a picture of my two grandmothers.
Okay.
They knew each other. They met in the Ybor City years ago.
Okay.
The taller one is my mother's
Yes.
mother, Inez, and the shorter one is my father's mother, Carmen.
It's the one with the three ladies. You have a number there
wait.
for me, Steve? I don't have my glasses on.
Number 7.
Number 7? Number 7.
Yep.
Now, then
Fascinating story there. Wasn't that the story you were telling us before we went on the air, where they knew each other? And
they were friends, and when my mother was little, she didn't like my father that much. But they met later on when they were younger adults at a dance at
Cuban Club?
Centro Español.
Centro Español, okay.
And
Across the street
then
from Cuba?
they stayed together. And my father was drafted into the army back in the old days when they, right after World War I.
We have a photo of that as well.
Yeah.
That's the photo.
14.
That's
That's number 14.
14, yep, on the bottom.
Yeah. And
Handsome man.
and he fought in World War II, and then at the end of World War II, he got married. My mother and him got married, like in 1940, right before the Japanese surrendered.
Do you have any siblings?
I have one late brother, passed away.
Passed away. Was he an older brother?
Yes,
Older
5
sibling?
years older than me.
Okay.
Graduate of the original Jefferson High School.
There you go.
Wow.
And you were a terrier, correct?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
Because when I was in the 8th grade, Jefferson was disaccredited. I'm the youngest in my generation of family. All my cousins, they all went to the original Jefferson, except for a couple who, they lived in the outskirts. One went to Chamberlain High School.
There you go. Probably a couple of plant
Yeah.
mixed in there if there
No,
was
no.
Because everybody was north side.
I had a couple of cousins who went to Jesuit High School.
Okay.
And I had a cousin who lived in Davis Island, and her children went to plant. We considered them the black sheep of the family.
Yeah, because they weren't Davis, they were on the island, man.
You know.
Way over there.
Well,
no?
they went to
They went to
plant.
plant. Plant.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm a Hillsborough graduate. Back in the days,
Right.
when there was still school
And he's a
pride.
loyal.
Oh, yeah.
Terrier.
Well, that's like the original six in hockey. You know, the original six hockey franchises. We had the original, the big three, which were playing Hillsborough and Jefferson. We had the big three. And, you know, Arizona, I want to come back to Arizona real quick, and I want to ask you, I'll ask you the same question, Robert. Growing up, any childhood buddies that even to this day are still your childhood buddies? You know, guys in the neighborhood? Or guys, want to talk a little bit about that?
I have a couple people that live in the neighborhood. They are older now.
Sure, as we all are.
Because I always hung out with older people.
Right.
Well, that's how you learn. You learn how to get along with people when you learn about older people.
Wisdom.
So people were 50 years up. I was sitting in the yard playing dominoes. The youngest one kicking their butts.
You. I don't, man, you're scaring me, man. I'm not sure I want to play dominoes with you. You keep talking, I'm not going to sit at the table with you. But that's great, though. I'll introduce you to my parents. They're pretty good.
Oh, they good.
I'll bring them over to King Corona. We'll sit down and see who.
No, that's when you do that, that's how you learn.
Sure. You learn from the older people. Right.
And my grandmother, she was blind, so I used to sit with her during the daytime. So she couldn't see where she was going.
So you would help her with that?
So I would let her grab my wheelchair and take her to the bathroom.
Wow.
So when she get done, I would bring her back to the couch. If she wanted water, I would take her to the refrigerator.
Oh, wow.
So I've been on both sides of the fence.
Sure.
And the caretaker and
And a caregiver? Yeah, you were the, yep, you were the caregiver and the one cared for.
And when she passed away, she asked for me to be there. So I had to rush over there. They know that she was leaving, She waited till I got there, and then she went. Beautiful.
I didn't know that, Arizona, and that's just
Wow.
That's a lot right there to have to absorb here on live TV. That's pretty good stuff. And this is part and parcel why I don't do a lot of preliminary interviewing with guests, potential guests, simply because I love to learn these things in real time and with everybody else, our audience at home.
Right.
So when we hear stories like that, it's not only very touching, but you know, it explains perfectly. For me, anyway, and for most of our viewers, I think at home as well, why you are the person you are, brother. Because, you know, A, it ain't never been easy from day one, but B and C, that didn't matter. You know, you just did what you needed to do.
Do what you gotta do.
Right.
If you wanna live, you gotta do what you wanna do. Or do you wanna be in a nursing home, looking out a window?
Right.
That's not me.
I don't think so.
Wow.
No.
When I saw you drive up tonight with your super hot new wheelchair, and I looked at it and I asked Basil, I said, Basil, is that a new chair? Because it's all tricked out, man. It looks good.
I got it because the airline, the airline messed my old chair up.
Now, was it recently that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Where did you go?
I went to a ADA conference
Okay.
in South Carolina.
Yeah, because that ain't going to stop
So
you.
I had to
Travel.
fly.
No.
You went to Cuba with us.
So I had to fly,
Mm-hmm.
and I told them specifically, when you lift the wheelchair, you need to lift from the base.
Mm-hmm.
When I got the wheelchair back, this was off. Got a hole in the seat.
Oh, no.
They tore it, won't lean back anymore. So you know the kind of way I on the phone. Hey, what the hell?
What'd you do to my chair?
So I had to call the claim. The guy said, we just sorry, you want to come, where you at? I said, no. When I get home, on Monday, I want a guy to my house to look at the wheelchair. The guy come out, he's like, oh yeah, we can do this. We can just glue it together.
Oh, no.
Glue? You know what? You not gonna put no glue on my chair. No. This chair cost $13,000.
$13,000 chair.
Don't put no glue on my chair.
No
way.
And you did it with an ADA guy.
Yeah.
So are you sure you want to do that?
That's funny.
So they brought you a new chair?
They
And
do
the
all
story.
paperwork, go to the doctor. Yeah, they sent the paperwork from the doctor. And they gave me a new chair.
Wonderful.
I did got the old chair.
Sure.
For backup.
Backup chair.
So when I got to fly again,
Use the backup chair.
it already tore up. what I can.
Use the backup check.
Right.
Good job.
That's awesome.
Robert, tell us a little bit more. Bring us up to speed now. You're talking about your father and the military, and then I asked you about your siblings, and we got as far as Hillsborough High School. But there's another part of your life, man. You met your sweetheart. You got married and had a family.
I met her when we were just 14 years old.
Wow.
I went to West Tampa Junior High, and she went to our arch rival George Washington Junior High.
The Greyhounds
and
and
the
the
Tigers. Yeah. And George Washington and West Tampa were the only two predominantly Latino
at
junior
that
high
time, that's
schools.
exactly right.
And we did not like each other.
No. Sort of like Jefferson and Hillsborough. They kind
Big
of did
rivals.
the same thing, yeah.
And then we met, and we've been together ever since.
Wow. And you have a daughter.
Yes.
Light of your life, I'm
she
sure.
lives
Where
in
is she
Italy.
now?
She lives in Italy, Tuscany, Italy.
Wow.
Beautiful place to be from, a beautiful place to be living. You think she's watching now? Do you want to look into the camera and say anything to her?
Hope so. Hope you're watching, L'Oreal.
There
Tuscany,
you go.
Italy.
But,
And if not, the show will be up on our website
Yeah.
shortly thereafter, okay?
yeah, I'll tell her she can.
There you go. She can look at it.
Watch the
Hey,
a tape show.
we would like to get a phone call or 2 or 3 tonight, but if not, we understand because we've got 2 compelling guys here that are telling great stories. And sometimes when we have a situation like this, Arizona, people just want to kind of sit back.
They want to listen.
And they want to listen.
They
don't
call
want.
in.
They don't. I know it. They don't want to disrupt the flow. But to be sure, if you're out there and you want to, listen. The draft isn't for another 30 minutes or so. So let's get through that. Give us a call if you've got a special question you want to ask Arizona, a question of Robert. This would be the time to do that.
Once again, the number is 813-977-6800.
All right.
That's right.
Is that? Listen, Arizona just, wait a minute, I want to say this. I want to go on record as saying this. Look right into the camera. Arizona just came to the studio tonight, and already he's talking more than my colleague Stephen. I love that. I love that. And without any prompting, he just gave that number up. Nice going, Arizona.
Way to go.
Nice going. Robert, highlight growing up in West Tampa. I'm coming back with you with the same question. Highlight, man. Something that, always you go back to, a touchstone.
Well, West Tampa, when I reached 1 year old in Tampa Heights, and at that time, in the early 1950, 1951, my parents bought property in West Tampa.
Can we show a photograph of that? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we do have a photo when you turn 1. And let's call for that, Stevie. What is that number?
That's number 5.
Okay, 5. Continue the story from there.
That's a picture of me in front of our house on Morgan Street, which was like 1.5 blocks just north of Columbus Drive, right, real close to Robert E. Lee School. And then when my parents bought the property that we live in West Tampa, city limits were right there, right across the street. On Lincoln Avenue, you cross the street, you're in Hillsborough County. When we moved there, there were still rabbits and snakes on.
Unincorporated.
Because and it wasn't incorporated, and it wasn't that many houses.
Sure. Montes, as we used to say.
For the monte. And the closest house was like a block away, on Matanzas, and and there was nothing out there, and then so that my parents could buy the property, they had to buy a total of 7 lots, and so they sold. My mother wanted a house on the corner, and so she divided up. It was 3 lots. She divided up the 1.5 lots, and she sold 1.5 lots to one of her older brothers, and then 2 lots behind she sold to one of her other older brothers.
Made a little compound.
Yeah, you
Like a
could have
family compound.
You could have put a fence around and been a family compound.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then and we saw the whole neighborhood eventually develop.
Fill in.
I was talking with one of our neighbors a while back, and he goes, there's only just 3 original family left. Everybody else has passed away or sold. Mostly passed away, the original owners, and there's just 3 of us left around here,
And so would we have a highlight from growing up there? Would you say it's the Piruli guy? Would you say it was going to Andy's Helados? What would you say?
Andy's ice cream was
Sure.
there. Everybody went to Andy's.
Sure,
Ice
that's why I mentioned it.
cream. And
And I see you're smiling, so apparently you remember it
We
well
went there,
too.
yeah. Right across the street was Two Sisters Dress Shop,
Sure,
and which was Helen Cabrera's sister.
that's correct.
And then one of the things that I have a lot of pride in West Tampa,
Sure.
the first cigar factory, O'Halloran, that's the cigar factory that rolled the cigars that they sent to
Cuba.
Oh, yes.
Started the Independence War.
Given the,
Oh, that's a great story,
right,
and that's
right.
something to be very, very prideful of. Arizona, back to you, my brother. Growing up in Ybor City, now the story that you told about taking care of your grandmother and sharing that time with your grandmother, or with the elders that were in the neighborhood that you always found yourself in their company. Special moments, man. Special moments that were, you know, the ones that made Arizona sit up a little bit taller and just smile a little bit bigger.
Well, I used to walk when I was young. So they had a house. I was in the middle house. There was a house on the left and a house on the right. So when the neighbor cooked, they bring you food. And you never will go hungry. The way we brought up is everybody look after one another.
Right.
So you never was alone. The kids are playing in the yard. They come and get me. Let's go walk to the corner door. You can imagine me walking with braces on and walking.
And how old were you at the time?
15.
So a teenager already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, and they're walking and they got to make sure I don't fall.
Right.
Because the sidewalk is
Uneven.
uneven. The kid always looked up. That was good.
That was great.
And then when you get out of school, there's an empty lot across the street from the bakery Los Toretos bakery. You can play dominoes over there. The old people come and they get around. They have food on one side and down on the other with a little bit of whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Moonshine.
Oh, yeah.
Drinking, they have a good time.
Well, they were adults doing what adults do.
You want a little bit? Yeah, let's go.
Get a bit, little taste, little taste.
Yeah.
That's a great memory.
That's amazing.
And that was a different time, too. That was a different time for us in our city.
This
We
is
talk
the-
about that all the time.
This is a good time when you can leave your doors unlocked.
Right.
Right.
And,
Can't do that
and,
now.
and like, go ahead, Steve, I'm
No,
sorry.
I was just gonna say you can't do that nowadays.
No, and you
So
know,
different.
to your point, Arizona, Robert, I'm sure you can validate this as well. At the time that we grew up here, Tampa was much smaller, obviously by evidence of the fact that just north of Columbus Drive was the city limits, and part and parcel why I think that, you know, people might ask themselves now, why is Colon and Marti Cemetery located in the middle of a city?
Right.
Because when they put that there, it wasn't the middle of the city.
That's right.
It was the outskirts. It's just the city came and grew around the cemetery. It was a different time. It was arguably a better time, you know. I'm sure you grew up with, like I did, like Steve did, like most of us did, man, with a lot of love in the house, where, you know, we had extended family. We had, of course, our grandparents were around, our best friends, our dear friends. I think the prevailing attitude where we grew up, and no matter what little area of Tampa you grew up, was if I had it, you had it.
Right.
You know, if we had, you know, nobody went hungry.
Right.
I'm gonna give you whatever I have.
And also, if you did wrong,
Oh,
you did get your behind.
oh yeah, well,
Good
Okay.
point.
yeah, because the parents all had the same privilege
Right.
and the same authority, let's say.
And you think because you was in a wheelchair, you was gonna get your behind whooped.
That's right.
Wrong.
You found that out, right?
About quick.
The hard way.
Quick like a bunny, he says. There were no special dispensations for the young black fella in the wheelchair.
Right. But the worst part was that my brother was crying more than me because I would get whooped. So the kid, my sister and brother were crying more than me. Oh, don't hit him, mama, in the wheelchair. Mama said, no, you can't hit him.
And you be quiet, because you're gonna get yours next.
You're next in turn.
Oh,
funny.
well, I'll tell you what,
great.
you know, this has been a very, very special show.
Really.
As we're rapidly coming to the close of another show. You know, this happens to us each and every week. We get in here and we open up, you know, the conversation, and we just start walking
Flies
through
by.
doors, man. We just start telling stories. And before you know it, the time is up. We may have to bring you guys back in again, either
Part two.
together again or separate and apart. It doesn't make any, never mind. I know you can get here. I know you can get here, so I'm not worried about that.
No.
And now you know where the studio is. So here's a different kind of question for you, Steve. I'd like to know, Robert, since you watch the show enthusiastically each week, you and Carrie are always watching at home, and we look forward to getting your calls. And when we don't get your calls,
We worry.
We kind of sometimes we ask ourselves, well, I hope Robert's okay. What's going on with Robert?
Where's Robert?
He
He hasn't
didn't
called
call. But then we typically will get a call, Arizona. Sometimes Monday of the next week or Tuesday, just to tell us, Mario, I didn't call because I had nothing to say. But at least he called
sorry I
to
didn't
tell
call.
me he had nothing to say, which was beautiful.
That's great.
So, Robert, my question to you is, does it look any different now that you're on this side of the camera and that, you see how it works and the lights and everything?
Yeah, well,
A new appreciation or?
I have a great appreciation. I have spoken before of 200 people before, but from the cameras,
It's a little
kind
different,
of
huh?
terrifying.
Yes.
You get nervous, huh?
A little nervous.
Yeah.
It's kind of terrifying.
Don't worry about it.
Arizona,
One thing
Arizona,
I had
don't worry
to-
about it.
One thing I have to say, Arizona,
great.
I used to work back when there was a St. Pete Times Forum when Lightning used to play.
Sure.
And they would pick me up after the Lightning game close to 11 o'clock. And I met Arizona, Heart Plus would pick me up. And the driver said, we got to pick up somebody else. He went to Ybor City, picked Arizona up in front, waited in front at close to 11 o'clock in front of the movie theater in Ybor City and picked Arizona up. And then they took me
That's
out.
because when you got a little bit of pull, when you're sitting on the board of the directors,
That helps.
You can do that.
That always helps. That always helps.
And Arizona, you sit on that board of directors, don't you? Well, there's no doubt about it.
pull.
I mean, when I said earlier that, this is Robert Gonzalez, West Tampa legend, and this is Arizona Jenkins,
weren't
Ybor
kidding.
City icon, there was no joke. And if you're ever perusing 7th Avenue and you happen to be, either excused or asked to be moved to the left or the right, because whizzing by you comes Arizona Jenkins in his brand new hot wheelchair, which he has a canister on the bottom of this wheelchair. It's really nice and tricked out. I asked him, Arizona, is that nitrous oxide, man? What is that Fast and Furious thing? Is that like a booster rocket or what's going on there?
That's for me to lean back.
That's a hydraulic, right?
Yeah.
So you can be comfortable and lean back with
Yeah,
that
that way you
thing.
can get comfortable. And
And
if you don't want to get run over, you have to wait.
that's right. You got a horn
You
on
don't
that
move,
thing or
huh?
lights or anything?
I got, hey, look out.
Hey, look out!
That's the horn. That's great.
Oh my
Let me
goodness.
ask you a question before we get
Sure.
on the thing.
Sure.
The trip that we went to Cuba,
Yes, sir.
can you tell them about your little PCA with me, helping me get on the bus?
Oh, well, that was, yes. I got to be honest with you. That was, we knew we were going to be challenged on that trip because of a couple of reasons. None of the least was the fact that they didn't confiscate your chair, Papa, but they couldn't put your chair on the airplane because of the battery.
Right.
Because there are strict FAA restrictions, and they didn't have the proper container to be able to put the battery in, so it caused a fire risk anyway.
That's because we've been on a private plane.
Correct, and because we were on a private plane. Long story short, we couldn't take Arizona's chair. So when we got there, now the one thing that the island is a little bit in need of is an organization strong like the ADA to be able to bring everything up to spec and to code so that people with disabilities can get around better. That's the only thing, really and truthfully. And then they'll get there. They'll get there. They're resourceful people. They'll get there. But we had Arizona with us, and we had to put Arizona on a special van, not a special van, a van.
No, it ain't.
No 88.
No lift.
We had no lift, so the lift was, a lot of times it was Scooter Courtney, myself, Scott Courtney, Scooter Courtney, myself, Vic DeMaio, anybody who had a good back, strong back, would take about 3 guys to pick Arizona up and put him in that back of that van. I don't know what happened in the back of the van, brother, because once they put you in there, I don't know, they strap you in? Did you hold
I
on?
didn't hold on to the seat.
Just hold on to the
I'm
seat.
doing this all week.
But on-
What the-
But on the trip, this was what Arizona wanted me to tell you guys. On the trip that we took to Varadero, on the way back, the special van that was supposed to pick up Arizona never showed up. and we were all ready to go. So at the last minute, Arizona says, you know what? It's time to go, boys. Pick me up out of this seat, waddle me, walk me, drag me into that. And then we put him on the jump seat that was next to the driver. And for the next 2 hours, man, Arizona was strapped in like a trooper. We put his wheelchair in the belly of the bus, big old 60-footer, and away we went.
Now, what you're forgetting is,
Tell me.
they said, we're here, he'll be here.
Yes.
Where are they? The bus not gonna leave you
Without me. Without me. Yeah, no, we weren't going to leave Arizona there. And Arizona was having none of that. That was one of those special moments where Arizona said, I don't think so, boys. If this bus is going, I'm on it. We got about 2 minutes to go, Robert, we're being told. Any parting words? Any last special, not that there's last special request, but I mean, do you have any requests of the Tampa Natives Show? Something you'd like to see us do in the future, perhaps?
Not really. You told me one time that I'm the #1 fan of Tampa Natives Show.
You have ascended to that role.
You know, the two previous #1 fans,
They're no longer
they're
here.
no longer here. And I say, and when you told me that at the Taste of West Tampa, I said, I don't know if I want that.
It's a slippery slope, Robert,
Not a
and
good
a
thing,
dubious honor. Arizona,
That's funny.
Well, I just want to say thank you for having me on your show.
of course.
Thank
It
you.
was an honor and a
Honor's ours.
privilege
It was.
Thank you.
because I love you and your wife, Zelly.
You too, baby.
Good.
Thank you, Arizona.
Yeah, we're going to give King Corona, Don Buckle, and Brenda Buckle a shout out.
Yes.
We're going there every day.
Yes.
Using their Wi-Fi,
Yes.
eating their food.
And drinking their coffee, and it's good. And playing their dominoes and smoking their cigars.
All basic cigars.
Everybody, let's
great.
grab our cups because we've got about 35, 45 seconds
Wow,
to go.
there you go.
Reminder that immediately following this show, you can tune into last week's show with Copeland Moret, channel 36 on Verizon and 638 on Bright House. It has been a privilege and a pleasure to have these two gentlemen in studio with us tonight. We learned so much tonight, and we're going to have them back again
Thank you.
real soon.
Great show.
So thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Let me just say, on behalf of everybody that puts this show together, thank you so much to our production team. Steve, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Mark.
Salute and happy,
Happy
days.
days.
We love you, Tampa.
Right.
See you next week.
And we'll see you soon. Thank you,
Bye.
Robert.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you.
Back when we were younger and everything seemed new, we used to have a lot of fun, yes we did, no matter what we do. Sleepy days, long summer nights, going anywhere we please, with love that I could call my own, love that I've always known, the city that I call my home, a home from which I never roam. This love affair was meant to be. I love her and she loves me. I remember Tampa, oh, she remembers me. She remembers me. I remember, yeah, yes I do. Oh, I remember, yeah, me and you. I'm a Tampa native, Tampa native, can't you see? I will share my story with you to preserve its history. All right now, don't forget, Thursdays, 7 p.m. on TBCN, home of the Tampa Natives Show.